Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of the Dominions 4 Multiplayer Showdown. My name is Sabouts. Let's begin turn 1 with my empire here, where we got the messages screen up. In the beginning there was chaos, now the wheel has turned once again. These are all the same every time you start a game, so we're not going to go over that. Let's see where I started. Alright, so here's the map here. Not a bad map at all. Might be a little cramped with 4 players, huh? Alright, that's going to create for a very exciting game. So let's take a look real quick at where I started. We don't have anybody playing Water Nations, so that's very good. Going to make the water tiles somewhat dicey for control, because there's no one particular person that dominates the water tiles. So it's going to be interesting how people go ahead and try to control those. It might be the first couple turns, or first even for a while, they might just stay uncontested. But we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking, let's see, we got a range of mountains here, so that's good. I see we've got a throne right here and right here next to where I started. That's actually almost hilarious, that there's thrones literally right on top of me. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and set everything up then. I think I'm going to want to definitely advance, well, obviously towards the thrones. I might as well try to get these. What I should do, honestly, this is pretty simple what I need to do, okay? I need to move up to the north and secure myself a good foothold in these four provinces right here. Down to the south, grab up this throne, advance towards this throne, grab it up, and then get to this throne. Chances are by the time I get to this throne and even this one, the other nations are going to be pushing out. The other players there. So, probably not going to lock these on till a while. These will probably be very contested thrones for me, but I know that these two are definites, and I've got to go and lock those down as quick as possible. Now, going into recruit units, here is the commanders we have up here, all of our regular units. Not bad units. The standard bearer is pretty awesome, so we're going to be working towards getting them, and we'll probably be sticking around with some princeps would be pretty cool, but they're more kind of not elites, but I think they're more stronger units. I don't think they're necessarily elites. But the levies aren't bad actually, because they're pretty cheap. 10 gold, 8 resource, 8 gold, 9 resources. They're actually even cheaper, surprisingly. They've got javelins as well. Airmore's got a lot of javelin units, which is good, because that is a good fire unit. And by fire I mean throwing their javelins. I think we'll go ahead though. We need to get a prophet pretty early in the game, especially with this many thrones near us. I think the archbishop is going to be our best prophet, so we're going to go ahead and get, even though they could die pretty quickly, we are going to probably go ahead and get a prophet with them. I don't know. I mean, this isn't a bad prophet either if we wanted to. They are sacred, and they've got Dominion 2, but you know what? We'll get this prophet here. Yes, they have old age, which kind of sucks, so we're going to be replacing prophets probably pretty quickly. But they do have a strong Dominion. They'll be a good prophet, I think. If any of you guys disagree with that, please let me know, but that's what I'm going to start with. And then since they're going to die so quickly, I can always replace them later on. Let's go ahead and, let's see, what units do we have now? We'll go ahead to army setup. We seem to have some levies here and some Hastatus. I'm going to butcher all these names, by the way, so just be prepared for that. Well, if we got that, why don't we go ahead and build up our levies a little bit. Set battle orders here. We'll have these guys fire at the closest enemy. And we don't want them to keep distance, just fire at the closest enemy. We want these guys to hold and then attack the closest enemy. For now, these are just the beginning battle orders, and we want you to stay behind the troops. There we go. Now, grabbing up our scout, we'll go ahead and scout. We're going to scout this way, actually, even though I want to go see what's at this throne. Probably no point in taking the throne early on, I don't think, because I don't even have a prophet, so we're going to have to wait for this person to be recruited. But let's get a couple more levies, and then why don't we go for some of these guys as well. And we do want a standard bearer. Can I squeeze one in there? I can. Could I actually go like that and then squeeze one? I can do that as well. Okay. We'll exit there. I'm not going to move. I don't think I'm going to move any of my units until I know what's around me for enemies. So I'm not going to bother taking any provinces just yet. That'll give me my first batch of recruited units, and then I can see what kind of enemies are around me. And actually, I'm going to change this up. I want to get a standard barrier as early as possible. And for research, we won't touch on research yet. We don't have anybody to do research, so we're just not going to talk about it too much until later on in the turns. So that is turn 1. I'll see you guys in turn 2. All right, in turn 2 for our playthrough here, it looks like we have a messenger from Helheim. So let's take a look and see. Accept this token of our beneficence. You may expect more upon a subjugation. Interesting. And we received 1 death gem. We got a proclamation here. It looks like people claiming their profits. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do our second turn here. So what do we got? We've got our scout here moving in. We're getting kind of a reading of what's going on. That's exactly what I kind of worried. A lot of units there, so it's going to take us a while to actually take that. 90 enemy units, 60 enemy units. All right. Wow, there really is no comfortable place for us to expand into, huh? But we need to expand nonetheless. 60. I really don't know if I have the units to expand. Good thing about this guy, he's got the standard here, so it inspires courage in battle. All units in the same squad will have their morale increased by this amount and be less likely to break in combat. Very important to put on the guys that we expect will probably be doing, or we actually want, I think, put it on this guys, the guys that will be doing the most close-up battling, which actually should be these guys. Did I mess that up last time? Defense skill. Yes, I did. I want these guys to hold and then attack the closest enemy. I want these guys to fire at the closest enemy, and then eventually they'll attack. Stay behind troops. Okay. Now taking a look at recruited units. All right, one more turn we get our Archbishop, so that is good. Let's go ahead and grab up some more of these units. I'm not going to worry about getting another standard bearer, I don't think, just yet. We'll repeat recruitment on them for a little bit. Actually, probably throw some. See, which ones am I going with here? I forget. Or these are Levy, okay. The Hestatus, we'll keep the Hestatus going. Oh, we do want to get some of these guys at some point. Let's just keep the Hestatus going, and we'll chuck in a couple Levy while we're at it, because they're pretty cheap, and we can build our army up nice and easy with that. We're going to want to get some cavalry at some point, but not really too much rush for that. So we'll keep repeating recruitment on that. We got the Archbishop coming, and then we're going to want to go ahead and get some gear here, or the Elders. It's going to be pretty important for research. And why don't we actually queue up one of them now? And then any gold I have left over, we do want to start building up our defenses. And make sure they're nice and high. We don't have to spend all of it. We do want to save up a little bit each month so we can do things like build fortresses and temples, but it is something that we definitely do need to consider putting together. Now, I could probably technically, see, it could make him a prophet. I've seen that they made some of their guys prophets, but I think I'm really going to wait for the Archbishop to come. I'd love to advance into one of these provinces, but obviously I can't go to the water provinces. They seem to be the easiest, and the other provinces around me are extremely powerful. You're talking, you know, I already got a Dominion there, so that's pretty good. But you're 90 units in this province, and then 110 here, and 60 is my best chance here. And even then, looking at army setup, I've got 33 units, so I don't think it's going to happen. So let's go ahead and move our scout. Which direction do we want to go? We keep going. We're going to want to keep going south. So let's start moving our scout down this way. And then, yeah, so a nice short turn 2. Basically just waiting for units to be recruited. I think once we get these units, next turn around, we'll probably be able to assault this small province of 60 because we really need to go ahead and start advancing out. seeing what is around us. It's going to be super important to start taking provinces. We should definitely probably send a message off. I don't know what to send. I'd like to send Helheim something because they sent me something. They sent me a death gem, which makes sense. All I have is a fire gem and an astral pearl. And I could send them a little bit of gold just to kind of... Why don't we just send them like 20, let's start with something small. They sent me one death gem. We'll send them a little bit of gold. It's just kind of us going back and forth. We're kind of poking each other here to see how we feel about each other. You know, like I said, there's a lot of alliances and backstabbing that could be going on. I'm a little nervous, but I think I'm honestly going to admit that I think Das Tactic is going to be the general threat for everybody. So, not saying we're all going to gang up on him. I wouldn't do that anyways. It's just not how I play things. I don't like ganging up on one person. But if I can pull strings here and there, who knows? Maybe we can see what happens, you know? I definitely am probably the most vulnerable player here. I'm most certainly the newest and less experienced player out of the group. So I've got to play my cards and hopefully make something out of the hand I'm dealt. Anyways, yeah, so that's it for turn 2. All right, in turn 3, let's see what we've got here. A messenger has arrived. Interesting. Greetings, Airmore. It has come to the attention of the Druid Council that you have missed your monthly gem tithe payment. To ensure our ongoing support, we trust you will not miss your next payment. That's kind of funny. I feel like I'm being bullied here into giving out gems. This is interesting. Alright, and Helheim claiming their profit. So, 40 enemies. That's a lot better odds. 50, not bad. Okay, so we can start pushing forward here. Let's definitely go keep scouting out. We've got units all set up to recruit. We do have somebody who can be our prophet now. So let's go ahead and set this Archbishop here to become a prophet. Army set up. We do need to move units down into these areas. That's super important for us to do. And then, as for recruiting, we've got more units incoming. I think we'll set up a... Oh, it takes a little while, huh? Well... But their research is really good, though they do have old age. This unit can prevent bad events. Well, that's really good. They all can. These guys would probably be a little bit lower research level, but they would be a little bit easier to recruit. So why don't I go ahead and maybe bounce back and forth between the two, right? That seems like a really good idea. Okay. Now, for army, I think, see, 41 units strong. We should be able to take these guys. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to need to start getting provinces pretty quickly. 240 gold left. We want to keep building up our defenses a little bit here and there. That's going to be pretty important. I think that's so interesting that he... with the gem thing, I don't want to send him a gem. But you know what? I'm going to play along. I'm going to send a gem. Or, let's see, send gold, magic gems. Wait, who was it that asked for it? Was a Yeah, it was Das Tactic that asked. It has come to the attention of the Druid Council that you've missed your monthly gem tithe payment. To ensure our ongoing support, we trust you will not miss your next payment. Basically saying, if you don't want to die when I encounter you, just to kind of play along, I'm going to send Das a gem. It'll be pretty funny when he gets it when he's recording his video. I'll send him one fire gem. That's it, just one. I'm not going to send, I don't think I'm going to send any more gems after that, but I do want to send one because I think it'll be funny on his side when he sent me that message that he turns around and actually gets the gem. It'll be kind of comical for him to get it. All right, so that's really it, I guess. No research really going on just yet. This person's going to become a prophet. After that, I'm going to go ahead and set them up to start preaching and preparing to claim one of these thrones that we go and take. We'll probably after we take this province and this province, we'll probably come around, and depending on what's here, we might take this. If not, maybe we'll route our army back around to go up here. By then, we can stop here and pick up more reinforcements, and it should be enough to take on the forces that are here. So that is it for turn 3. All right, and here we are in turn 4. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on. A messenger has arrived from Helheim. Let's see what we've got here. Your collective insolence has been recorded. Armies have been dispatched. Oh, what? I sent you some gold. How dare you, Helheim? How dare you? A proclamation from Airmore. I got my prophet out there. And then there was a battle in the Blue Coast. So let's go ahead and take a look at the battle and see how we held. This gives me kind of a feel here for how my armies are going to do. Those javelins are pretty powerful. I can already tell you some things I might need to change. Really? Well, luckily the standard bearer saved us there. I can't believe those guys routed. That is unfortunate, but we did win it. But that lets me know right there that I already know some things I need to change. But let's go ahead and get started. At least we've got this territory now under our control. I see we're here. Let's go ahead and just start preaching the teachings of God. Actually, why don't search for magic sites. See what you can find. What do you got here for magic? You technically don't have any magic. Could start preaching down here. I'm just worried about units coming down and doing something. Uh-oh. Just preach for there for now until I have something for you to do. Yes, this province. Armies set up. See, I got this at the hold and attack the closest enemy, and that messed me up. So this needs to be back a little bit. I want them to fire at the closest. But they're still going to charge in. I'm going to have them hold and attack, I think, the closest enemy. Or I want them to fire the closest enemy. I'm actually going to have these guys just attack the closest enemy for now. I won't start doing holding moves, I've decided, until I'm a little bit better prepared. Did we already got experience? Is that we already got some heroic ability? A hero with this ability receives increased physical strength. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and definitely get some defenses down here. I want that to be the very first thing I do, because I'm going to leave this province on its own. I know I wasted a lot of gold doing that, but defenses are one thing I definitely don't want to mess with this game. And by mess with, I mean I don't want to just shrug them off as if they're not important, because they are pretty important. Let's switch that. Thinking about switching to these guys. 10 gold, 13, 8 gold, 9. What's the big difference? There is a considerable difference. So maybe... Oh, we want to stick with those guys. Get rid of these. I think that'll be fine for now. And we should be working on researchers. Alright. I want to mix this up eventually, but it's just not something I can afford to do right now. And I'm not going to be able to attack and take any other areas unless I was to move down here, but I have to bring my army up to get more forces anyways. This throne's actually not very well protected. I don't know how long it'll stay like that, but it might be worth It might be worth actually coming back down and taking that. You can see there's a couple provinces down here that are all pretty empty, so moving south was definitely a good idea, but I still do need to secure at least these provinces here, because that'll give me a nice, or at least this province here, because it's a throne first of all, and second of all, it'll give me a good buffer between my main capital and any enemies that might come from that direction. Now, we should definitely be scouting out to find other enemy forces, so why don't we come around this way and go a little north, now that I have a general idea of what's south of me. I was going to push to these thrones, but I don't think I'm going to. I want to at least lock on 2 of these thrones early game. That would be really useful, so I might start thinking about what I need to do to secure this throne. And then research is something I'm seriously neglecting right now, but we're about to fix a lot of that soon. Alright, so that is the end of this turn. I think I've covered everything, except for, actually, before I end this off, do I want to send anything? I won't send anything this time. We'll cover it up next time. So that's the end of turn 4. Thank you guys.